We set up the Polly Farmer Foundation, just a small group of people, and the objective was to help young Aboriginal people succeed in accordance with Polly Farmer's expressed wish that, he really put it beautifully. He said, there are a lot of good jobs in Australia and I don't see many Aboriginal people in those jobs, and that's what I want to see. And we really took up that idea and ran with it. The first 40 years of mining in the Pilbara were shown not to have advantaged the Aboriginal community virtually at all. So notwithstanding some honest efforts to do good stuff, it hadn't worked. BHPBIO saw our initial work in the Pilbara and realised it was very relevant to their work. And I remember sitting down with the then CEO of BHPBIO Iron Ore and saying, this is something we should do.
So they commissioned a major consultation study about what the community wanted. So they came to the conclusion that the program that was running in Karratha matched what the aspirations were that had been identified in that study. So the foundation set up the program in Port Hedland.
The Follow the Dream program is an after-school organisation for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids.
You can catch up on your homework.
It's a program that provides tutors for Indigenous kids, and it also provides us with resources like computers, because some of us probably don't have computers at home.
So the support of BHPBIO has been critical in making a difference to the kids that are in the Follow the Dream program. It's very easy to give financial support and just sort of leave it at that, but the partnership between the school, BHPBIO Iron Ore, Polly Farmer Foundation and the students and their parents makes it work.
Oh, it's important to build the skills and knowledge in young children so they can become experts in their area, further their studies, go on to get good jobs, compete at decent levels. They in turn become role models for their own children, to become role models for their family.
Having a program like Follow the Dream provides the necessary support that Aboriginal students need to be successful. They get assistance to develop plans around what they want to do in the future.
The best thing we can do for our young people is get them to school every day and to make sure that they've got choice when they leave school.
The Follow the Dream program is really important for young Indigenous kids around the Pilbara area because they provide opportunities that you wouldn't get if you weren't in the program.
I went to the Follow the Dream program after school one day and I asked Elke if she could help me find a job. She opened up one of the job sites and there was a position for a trainee train driver. So yeah, she helped me fill in my resume, told me what I need to get from the school.
I love my job. I enjoy the roster, the people I work with, the excitingness of driving 19,000 tonnes. Teaching other people, I love engaging with new people as well, especially kids that are coming through the same program that I did. My 5-year-old niece already says that she wants to be a train driver, so I think I've inspired a few people.
What we see is primary age students competing to get into the program. It is an aspirational program, and so therefore students need to fulfil certain criteria to be a part of it.
So at the moment we've got 84 young people that are attending the after school sessions and their average attendance is 90% for term 1. So in terms of the average attendance across the state for all kids is 90%. The engagement of BHPBIO is real and tangible, so that getting the kids to graduate from high school isn't the destination, that's the starting point. And these kids have been given enormous opportunity within the organisation, but also opportunities to work in other employment in town or indeed go on to further study at university level.
I'm a student at University of UWA, doing my Bachelor of Science, majoring in genetics.
So I'm studying sports science and a double major, as well as exercise and health.
My parents found it difficult to help us as we got older because we started to learn things that my parents just didn't know anything about. When we started to attend high school, there was a place where we could go as Indigenous students and get the help that we needed. That took a lot of stress off of my parents.
So Follow the Dream has helped my pathway at the moment just by having that extra tutoring to pass my units, to gradually get me to the point of being accepted into uni. And it's just gave me that base structure of you've got to do homework, you've got to keep going. So they've given me that opportunity to be where I am now.
These are the kids who really didn't think about a future. It was just go to school, finish, drop out, stay in Port Hedland, get a job. But now the world's their oyster.
The thing about this exercise has been the intelligent way that BHPBIO has dealt with it. It's taken a learning by doing approach. The fact that after a few years they did their own assessment of what the results were and built on that.
You're dealing with the most important asset the community's got, that's their children. You are giving their children a future, and I think in that way it's enabled the Aboriginal community of both towns to have an environment in which families and students can succeed.
But it's also setting an example for their siblings, and I think this is the big thing for me, is that it's encouraging more Aboriginal kids to stay at school and go to school.
The truth is there are really two ways of looking at the world in Australia. There's the Aboriginal way and there's the rest of us way. And the only way you bridge the gap between those two cultures is through education, which will enable Aboriginal people to be confident in both cultures.
My dream has always been to be a teacher.
Have my doctorate in genetics and be able to do research on genetic disorders.
Probably being like a train driver is my biggest dream. My biggest dream is to be successful in life.
My biggest dream, to be a star.
And until every Aboriginal child gets the education that is really going to fulfil their potential, we're not going to be a reconciled Australia, we're not going to be a successful society.